The Symphony and Opera is getting ready for one of their largest fundraisers, Uncorked. Matthew Hubbard and Mindi Lamar from Riverside Wines join me this morning to give us all the details. Great to have you both here this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is just one of your, I guess, largest fundraisers. Just really a great night for Symphony supporters to come out near the river, enjoy good food, good wine, right?
Absolutely.
You've got a lot planned that evening.
There is so much planned that evening. It's going to be wonderful.
Talk us through some of the other, I know there's like an auction, there's music, you've thought of everything.
It's an evening of wine, good food from local vendors.
That's where Mindy's going to come in just a moment, right?
And music. And we have Oja, World Music Band, which Oja means fire, and they're bringing the rhythm, the hot, sultry beats of the West Africa, the Caribbean, the Americas. Wow. So it's going to be an evening of fun. And the best thing is, this event goes to support this Chattanooga Symphony and Opera's education programs.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. So many times, so often we have these fundraisers, and we know that they're to raise funds for the program. But when you really start looking at what the money goes into, it's really amazing because you are doing wonderful things in the schools, and you were just talking about your education programs. So that money is going to help benefit things like that.
Yes, on the money we will be collectively our education programs engage around 35,000 students each year.
Unbelievable. In the schools.
In the schools. And our musicians, they don't just play on the symphony stage at the Tivoli. They are quintets. They go into the schools and bring music back to the schools. And that's something that I am so proud of the symphony, like especially our sensory-friendly concerts. There are free concerts for families with children who may be atypically developing, and this is just an access for them to enjoy the symphony music. And Uncorked goes to benefit all of that, all of our education programs, and it's kind of how we give back to the community.
And you guys you do a lot of events where you partner with other organizations, the Creative Discovery Museum, and I guess it also, the funds are needed for those kinds of events.
Yes, ma'am,
that you always, or it seems like you're always opening up great things for the community that people need to take advantage of. So that's so neat. So that night, we're going to have great, you mentioned food, cuisine, and wine, right? And that's where Mindi comes in.
Absolutely.
All right, so Mindi, you're going to kind of tell us a little bit about how, what to expect that night. They're going to be pairing foods.
We're going to be pairing wines with certain foods. We've got about 20 vendors that are going to be there in what we kind of call the midway section, and range from things like Feed Table and Tavern, Tremont Tavern, Ruth Chris is going to be there. Help me out. Who am I missing?
Frothy Monkey.
That's right, new restaurant here in town. But what we do is they submit their menus, and it's they do small plates. And like Ruth Chris, we're going to be pairing this Daniel Cone Cabernet with. And Cabernets is something that you do want to pair with something like meat or tenderloin, I believe is what they're going to be doing. And the dryness of this cab just pairs fantastically with what they're going to serve as far as the meat. The fat content from beef is just a wonderful pairing with a dry Sauvignon Blanc. Cabernet Blanc.
All right, so that's for like with steaks and meat.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And then we've got some wonderful, we've actually have a French white Burgundy, which is a Chardonnay, and that's going to be something that we're going to pair with one of the vendors is going to have some salmon, like croquets and stuff like that. This is something that we would do there. Also, we have rosé. Rosés are really in hot this season. Athens Distributing was nice enough to be involved to help with the coordination of all these wines. They've said we need some rosé pairings there. So
and which one? That's this one right there.
This one right
is that
here.
A sweeter type?
No, actually, this is a Côte d'Aron, which is from France. I've got a couple of French wines up here, but they pair great with spicy foods. So you want a rosé. It's dry. It's not sweet, but it's got a slight little fruit forwardness up front that's really going to pair nicely with spicy dishes. So that's something we're going to do there. This is a Pinot Blanc, which is out of California. Pinot Blanc is a unique grape. It's typically grown in the old world in France, but California, this producer, Jay Wilkes, actually the winemaker has been here to town a couple of times. He's a riot, but we're going to have his wine on the midway as well with the food that's going to be there. So just great wines. These are all wines that you've probably never had before. They're in the market. We want you to be able to try them. and to see how effective a great pairing of wine and food can be.
Right. And you tell us again a little bit about where you're located, because if people still have questions or if they're planning an event on their own, they can always come see you guys. Where are you located?
I'm with Riverside Wine and Spirits. We're at 600 Manufacturers Road, and we've got a great staff there that's very wine educated. I'm actually a sommelier myself, and we also can help you plan any type of event you may be having. So if you're looking to do from 50 to 500, we can get you set up.
That's right. And you mentioned the steak and the salmon. Is there going to be desserts there?
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, we're having some wonderful bread pudding and chocolates. We're going to have some coffee there as well. And what
Clumpy's ice cream.
Clumpy's ice cream.
Of course, you guys thought of everything. I knew you had to have that dessert in there since you thought of everything else.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, just a great night for everyone to take advantage of it. Is there still, obviously, I mean, people can go to get tickets at your website. Is that the best way for them?
That's the best way to get tickets, and I will say that this event, we've always sold out.
Right.
So people would need to get their tickets now instead of waiting till later.
And I guess volunteers for something like this, you always have to have a lot of volunteers, I would imagine, to pull something like this with such a, so many businesses coming in. So people are watching this and maybe want to get involved even for next year as far as maybe having their, their business showcased at this event or want to volunteer. How do they go about doing that?
They would go to our website on ChattanoogaSymphony.org/Uncorked, and they can find all the volunteer information there, contact information, all that, and they will be directed to the right people to talk to.
Okay, great. I've enjoyed having both of you here so much. I hope you'll come back, Mindi, again. Maybe we can do more of this because it's very educational. Well, great. Well, thank you so much. And give us all the details again one last time on the dates for the event and direct them to the symphony.
It is Saturday, May 13th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. in Renaissance Park, and tickets can be purchased at ChattanoogaSymphony.org/Uncorked.
Great. Thank you again so much. And stay with us because we'll be right back with more Let's Chat.